let's get back into talking about how you're rocking and rolling on this Wirecast, how you're doing this show. I mean, everyone wants to do Facebook Live, and everyone sees your show, and they want to do a show like you're doing. I mean, now you've been doing this show. You've learned how to do it. You bought the things on the Wirecast and the cameras and the big screen TVs for your monitors and stuff like that. And now you're actually making some money just selling it to other people. You're not really selling it to other people, but you're producing other people's shows, which is awesome.
Yeah, so I've actually, a couple things I've done to monetize, because the show is really about delivering value and without expectation of getting anything in return. So I just want to, bring people on who are influencers, thought leaders, have something great to offer people that they could potentially take and use into their business, and really expose people to newer audiences that maybe they haven't been exposed to before. So, but during this process, there's always, well, how do you do this or how do you do that? So one of the things I have done is put together I've got some free downloads, and then, from the free downloads, there is a small course on how do you actually create a show just like this? How do you structure a show like this? So I did a video series of how you actually structure this, complete with 60 of my scripts, show scripts, complete show scripts, graphics that I've created, in Photoshop format, so they can either edit them themselves or send them to Fiverr. They also get a countdown timer. So there's that aspect of it. So if people want to know, well, how could I put this together? I did create a course for that, as well as people are reaching out to me and saying, I want to show a quality production like yours, but I don't want to invest the time and the money into learning or doing. So can I just hire you to help me out? And
that's awesome. Did you expect that?
No, it wasn't anything that I was actually going for.
That you get a side result of making money on something that you were doing that you wanted to do for yourself, and then someone actually said, "Hey, listen, can you do it for me?" And listen, I'm willing to give you some money.
So the biggest purpose of the show is one, obviously, to engage people, but two is to get my name out there, so people get to know me, like me, and trust me. Is bottom line. So in order for that to happen, I need to create content, but creating content is just one piece of the formula. That is the easy part, because that's I thought it was the least time consuming, but it ended up being quite time consuming. So if you're just going to do it's different if you're doing a 30-minute show where you have your own specific topic and you talk about it, because I can talk about a specific topic for quite a period of time, stuff right? But when you have guests on and you want to create this content that you can then distribute. So the second part of the formula, the first part of the formula is creating the content, and I use live video. The second part of the formula is actually repurposing the content. So I actually had to structure my show for ease of repurposing. So that's why we have these breaks every 7 to 8 minutes, is so that we can make a clip out of that 7 to 8 minutes. Is also so that it's a pattern interrupt for the audience,
right? So
that their mind doesn't start to wander. We change the pattern. We go into a video, or we reintroduce the guest, or whatever it is. So I wanted to create these shows so that I can repurpose it as quickly and easily as possible. But not just the video clips. I mean, this gets transcribed. We create a couple of blog articles out of this. It's going to be a video podcast, an audio podcast. There's the series of anywhere from 6 to 10 different video clips of various lengths. There's a lot of social media graphics created. There's quotes that are created so the second part is repurposing the content. Now the third part of the formula is distribution and engagement, and that's the 10x component. So for every 1 hour I spend creating this show, so if a show is 1 hour long, like this show is, I need to 10x the amount of time I spend distributing and engaging. So for every 1 hour episode I do, I need to spend 10 hours distributing the content I created and engaging with people without any expectation in return on all the different platforms I can think of. And
Wow.
right now, so the minimum would be 4, but I have it up to 9. So that would be Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and then Instagram, Snapchat, Amazon. So that would be creating books, as well as iTunes. That's creating podcasts. And I'm sure that there's more that I missed
How do you
in
do the
there.
video? How do you do the video cast? You put it on iTunes video?
Well, I haven't launched that yet. So
Ah,
um, in I the plan was to actually do it at the same time, but
like
for me, there just
simultaneously?
wasn't. Even though I'm having my outsourcers repurpose the content for me, just the time to distribute and engage, and I can. Once the podcast is set up, I can get them to upload it, but I actually have to set up the
Right.
podcast first.
Right. But the
So
great
that
thing about what you got is you have all this content. You've done 67 shows. I mean, that is so much content in such a short period of time. You could do so much. You can do so much with that. I mean, you're going to be busy.
Yeah, so that's my next 3 months is
Yeah,
taking
for
all
sure.
of this repurposed content that my outsourcers have been busy putting together for me, and then so I will actually create the podcast channel, the video podcast and the audio podcast channel. So then I can start uploading the episodes,
Nice.
once a week or maybe
Nice.
twice a week,
Nice.
because I'm gonna have so much content. I could probably do twice a week, and then that's audio and video, and then as well. I start posting the blogs to the website, and then when the blogs get when the podcasts get posted, when the blogs get posted, when the video clips get posted on the website, on YouTube, on iTunes, all of that stuff, then I spend my time advising people of all the stuff that's out that I keep putting out there.
Sure, sure,
So
sure. Well, a
it's
platform for someone who likes to listen to podcasts, a platform that someone likes to watch.
Instagram images based on the content.
For sure, for sure. So
YouTube
let
stuff.
me. It's my show. Hold on.
Okay.
I want to just stop you for a sec because it's all brilliant. But what I want to say to people that are out there that haven't gone through the things that you and I've gone through, it's a lot to take in, right? What are you talking about? Podcasts and live casts, and then you take the transcripts and you turn it into a book, and then you put it on Amazon, and then you take a little thing and you put it on Snapchat, and then you take a 1 minute 59-second video and you put it on Instagram, and then you're doing Facebook Live with Wirecast. It's like, oh my God, I want to pull my hair out. It's actually, watch this show over and over and over again and listen to what we talk about, and you'd be very surprised that once you start, go to Google and read up on Wirecast. Go to Google and read up on Facebook Live if you don't know what's going on. I mean, we're doing it right now. Go and learn about Instagram and how long a video. Join Instagram and start putting your videos up. You can check out mine and John's Instagram. I mean, I've got, I just started a month ago and I've got 120 posts on there. Very important. Some people are on Instagram, some people are on Snapchat. Some people are on Facebook. Some people are reading books and they're on Amazon, and they're gonna. John's just making a place that you can get this content. What's the famous Mike Canning saying that you're always saying?
You everywhere now.
You everywhere now.
You everywhere now is his philosophy, and it's get seen, get heard, get noticed, anywhere, anytime, on any device.
I remember when I was at that. I was in San Diego 2 years ago, and he talked about that. It was very overwhelming at the time. So it's something that now it's very easy for me to understand, and it's very easy for you to understand. But
So-
that was for all you people out there that don't. It's actually very, very brilliant what he's doing. It's just how it's gone these days. You can't just be on one platform.
So to finish the formula, the last component of the formula is 100 days. So how the formula actually reads is the rate at which you accelerate your authority is equal to the number of hours you create live video. So if the minimum being 1, so at least 1 live video,
1 hour.
1 hour of live video per week, plus repurposed content times the number of platforms you're going to use. So whether you're going to use 4 platforms as the minimum, or you're going to go to all 9 platforms. So this is the number of repurposing content for those platforms, plus 10 times the number of hours of live video per week. So if you're using 1 hour of live video per week, then you need to do 10 hours of distribution and engagement per week. So I'm doing 5 hours per week. I need to be doing 50 hours of distribution and engagement per week. And that's where I sort of fell down, because I was doing too much live video. I didn't have the extra time to do that 50 hours a week, which is why I'm taking the next 3 months to do my distribution and engagement. And then the other component is you need to do that for 100 days consecutively. So that's 1 hour of live video a week, spending 10 hours distributing and engaging the repurposed content on at least 4 social platforms, and you do that continuously for 100 days, which means that you'll have 14 to 15 hours of content. You'll spend 150 hours of distribution and engagement during that 100 days. In that time frame, any person that does this is guaranteed to accelerate their authority in that 100 days. You may not be at the level you want to be, but you're going to be much higher than you are today and doing anything else that you would be doing in the next 100 days, because most people just try to create content, but it's that distribution and engagement, that's where all the traction comes from. The repurposing of the content and the distribution and engagement. Everyone has it flipped around. They're doing 10 hours of content and 1 hour of distribution and engagement. So, you know, I haven't been doing the distribution and engagement I need to do, but my audience is still growing, but not at the rate that I wanted it to grow, just because I wasn't investing.
Because you're 10xing. So the next 3 months, you're going to really, in 3 months now, when you start the show over again, you should be already up at a certain point. And then what will you do? Do the show for another 3 months and then take 3 months off? Or are you going to have a team in place implementing that as you go?
Well, I have a team in place right now, but they haven't been implemented, or they're repurposing it, but the distribution and engagement, I haven't set up the process for distribution and engagement, which means I haven't created my iTunes podcast or video podcast channels yet. Right. So I don't have that process in place. So for the next 100 days, I'm going to create the process. I have my outsourcers doing the distribution or the repurposing, but then once I have that process in place, then yeah, the next 100 days when I start to show up for the second half of the season, there's going to be a very specific path for them to follow. It's like, okay, as soon as the transcription comes in, this happens, and then once you have it, you need to post it here, 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 and here, and then I just spend my time getting ready for the show, doing the show, and then after the show is done, I need to spend my time on the engagement part, because they are doing all the distribution for me. Right.
That's cool. So can you talk about your outsourcing? How many people do you have? 1, 2?
So I have two full-timers, so I pay them a monthly wage.
Nice.
In the Philippines. I've had.
Is it outsourced to what's his name's company in the Philippines?
Nobby doesn't have that company anymore.
Not Nobby. What's the other guy?
I don't know.
Well, who are you with in the Philippines?
I have my own. Long time ago, I went through a company called 123 Employee.
Okay, yeah.
And the guy that I ended up with, I ended up stealing him from them.
Oh, nice.
So he works for me. It cost me less than half the money, and he makes a lot more money. So he's getting probably.
He doesn't have to pay the firm or whatever.
Yeah, he's paying. Yeah, they would just pay him a wage, right? So he works for me, and he's getting probably 2.5 to 3 times the salary. And so
you pay him on a monthly salary?
I pay him on a monthly salary.
That's wonderful. So you're actually really giving him a good life then.
Yeah, and then he brought on somebody else for me. So those two are full time. I have a contractor who in South Africa that does my transcripts. So I just send her the YouTube links, and then she does the transcripting.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then once I get
those are worth some money. You could sell your contact list.
Okay, let me finish this, and I'll tell you what ended up happening here. So then I have the outsourcer that takes the transcripts and the raw video, and then she's actually creating a couple of blog articles, creating some social media images for like Instagram and stuff, and making the show notes. So she's going through the video and making show notes, like this time they talked about this, or that time, or for not only my website but my YouTube channel. So I have the outsourcers are all in place to do all of this, which is actually going to be a service I offer. Say, for you example, you want to do accelerate your authority, and all you want to do is sit in front of a camera. You don't want to do any of the show production, you don't want to create graphics, you don't want to do any of that stuff. So then you just hire me to actually help you over that 100-day time frame. We do 15 shows, and then I get my team to do all that work for you. And then you just basically, on the front end, you're doing the show. On the back end, you're doing the engagement piece, because we have it all distributed for you.
Wonderful. Now, can I be so bold as to ask and let everybody else know what kind of charge is that, John? Are you allowed to say?
No, it's like it's a secret.
Well, you never know, right? Hey, bling bling, Johnny, how much is it?
Yeah, so that's
cash deal, man. Cash deal, cash only, cash money.
So that's a 5,000 US a month.
Nice, nice. And then you can basically have a full production TV show, and then you do you get all your people to do all the distributing.
Yeah. So so my client, someone like yourself, you would just be, and I help you with the show, because there's an overall strategy, because you're going to end up with 14 to 15 shows. So the idea is that during those 14 to 15 shows, each one of those shows is going to be a chapter in a book. Right. So we figure out who your ideal target market is and what it is, their pains, fears, frustration, and ambition, and what the book is going to be about, which is basically taking people on a journey so they end up want to buy from you. So from the transcripts, we're also creating books. So from the first 67 episodes of the show, I'm going to have 5 different books created.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful.
I have enough content for 5 different books. So yeah.
Wonderful. I mean, that answers all my questions. I mean, it sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful, and congratulations to all your success.
Thanks, man.
I can't wait to do it myself and steal your thunder. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry. I tell people, I've been telling people the formula for the last 3 months.
And no one's done it.
Well, I don't know what people are doing, but
it's not that easy to do. You know what, John? What you're doing is not easy to do. People want to do it, but it's unnerving to speak live. A lot of people don't want to do it. I know that it was very hard for me even 2 years ago. Mike Cannings put me on camera, and I was like, it's and I couldn't do it. So
yeah, so I which is why I offer the
little coaching along.
Because not everybody can afford the 5,000 US a month for 3 months, right? So I can coach people on a weekly basis to help them sort of create their show.
Right.
Because once they create their show, and then teach them, okay, you need to repurpose, distribute. You go find your own outsourcers. Here's what you need to do, and here's how you need to engage with people, and just coach them through that process for the next.
Cool. Now this is your show. This is the last show for the season. We're getting close to the cutoff point here. Is there any questions out there that anybody would like to send through? John, do you want to roll any of your past guests before we finish the show?
Yeah, I think that's how we'll end up in the show. Is I have 4 more videos of previous guests that have sent in. So we'll do that, and then I'll cut to the closing remarks. And then, so I just want to thank everybody for joining me for the last 67 episodes, the last 100 days. And we'll definitely be back. Like I said, I'm going to be taking 3 months off from doing this show, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing live every day. It's just I'm not going to be doing this show every day. So I am going to be going live and documenting a lot of my own journey over the next 100 days. Still, because I need to still accelerate my authority. Even though I'm going to be doing the distribution and engagement component, I still need to keep myself out there, and then advise everybody what I'm up to, and what I'm doing, and maybe why I'm doing it, and all of that. So there will be a lot of live video coming from the Authority Accelerator Coach, as opposed to the John A. McCabe Show.
Wonderful, wonderful.
But thanks, everybody, and thank you, Keith, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast. It's been a learning experience, and thank you so much, John.
All right, so everyone take care, and look forward to seeing some of you in San Diego next week. And
peace.
And I'll be seeing you soon on Facebook Live again. Take care.
Hey John, I wanted to take a minute and say congratulations on the successful completion of season 1 of your show, and thank you for offering the opportunity to be a featured guest earlier on in the season and serve your audience. I know it's a special thing and you don't want just anyone on there, so it meant a lot to me. I've been watching what you've been up to the last couple of years. I know we've been friends and over about, 2.5 years now, and it's just awesome to see you continue to grow and lead the way. So congratulations again, and looking forward to see what you got in store.
Hey, John McCabe, it's your buddy Sam Crowley. I want to congratulate you on your first season of the John McCabe Show. It is awesome. Great content, helping people from all around the world pursue their passion, monetize that passion, inspiring them. It was my pleasure to be a guest on your show in the first season. Keep rocking, brother. It's going to be amazing.
Hey, Keith, Shannon here. Just wanted to give a shout out to Mr. John McCabe. Congratulations, my brother. The John McCabe Show is a hit. First season, knocked out of the park. You're going to take a little break, I hear, and then you're back in the new year to finish up the season. I mean, amazing stuff, man. Really, really, really good stuff. Congratulations, John.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael Espy. Just doing this video, just giving a big shout out to my friend John McCabe. I just wanted to congratulate him on his John McCabe Show. Just want you to know I think you've created something really special, and I was on your show a little more than a month and a half. You interviewed me. I just want you to know that I had a really cool experience. I've been on a bunch of different podcasts now, and yours ranks right up there as one of my favorite. You were very well organized, and you did a super cool job of keeping it fun and engaging. I've checked out a couple other episodes of your shows, and you have a really cool variety of speakers and topics that people can really benefit from. So keep doing what you're doing. I know for certain when people tune in, their lives will be that much more better. So thanks again, my friend. Bye for now.
Well, thanks for joining me on today's John A. McCabe Show, where we work with entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers, get seen, get heard, get noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. Now, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, if you're someone who's looking to take your business to the next level and want to get some coaching advice, why not apply to be a guest on today's show? Now, for most entrepreneurs, we want to create a life of our own, create our own path, and do what we can to reach our own desired outcome, which is generally freedom. Freedom to choose what we want to do, when we want to do it, and with whom we want to do it. A life that's full of options and choices, where we worry less about money and more about the quality of time that we spend with others. Now, a great way to make that happen is to leverage other people's knowledge, time, and skill sets. Step one to reaching our freedom life is to realize that you can't do it alone. Working with a coach or being involved in masterminds is a great way for entrepreneurs to move their business forward. Now, a coach can help you shorten the time frame to get you from where you are to where you want to be, while being part of a mastermind is meant to bring entrepreneurs together, all with the goal of helping each other move forward with their business. Now, the second step to creating the life you envision for yourself as an entrepreneur is to implement systems into your business so you can streamline your operations, leverage systems, and free up your time to focus on your family, having fun, and the highest leverage activities in your business. You know, the activities that get you the biggest return on your time invested, the ones that truly make you money. Now, sometimes we just don't know what systems we need, how to implement those systems, or even have the time to find out what is needed. Now, working with a coach or consultant that understands, uses, and specializes in systems that can streamline your operations can help save you time, aggravation, and make you a lot more money. Now, for example, having a system or strategy that allows you to leverage just 15 hours of your time into enough repurposed content to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device is a great example of leverage. Now, just imagine a system where you invest just 15 hours of your time, and the end result is you're a #1 best-selling author, You have enough content that's going to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. You have a successful podcast. Now it's automatically attracting more attention, giving more value, and generating more leads, which enables you to attract an abundance of paying customers. Now this is also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now to find out more about the Authority Acceleration Blueprint coaching program or mastermind, then contact me via my website at johnamccabe.com or connect with me through my show's Facebook page. Now again, thank you for joining us on today's show, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show when I have another great guest on discussing their business and accelerating their authority. So have yourself an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.